Hello again. This class is going to be really working on the hips. So we're going to do some sun salutations to warm the body up as we would do normally. And then we're going to get down to the mat, do quite a few postures, asanas, which stretch the hips. If you're carrying any sensitivity or constraints around your hips, go very, very carefully. You don't have to do these postures. Just try to do something that is with the postures in mind, that maybe gets you to the limit of your range of movement, but not beyond that. So be very compassionate with your body. We're going to start in child pose. So come onto your fronts. Take your knees out to the edges of the mat, join your big toes together, sit the hips back onto the heels, walk the hands forwards, let the forehead come down towards the mat. So we're going to take a couple of centering breaths here. So as you find yourself in this posture, try to soften through your whole body. Try to use the skeletal framework to support the body, the muscles, the tissues. And take a big breath into the belly here as you allow the tummy to soften and release towards the floor. And as you release, let the breath out and let anything that's on your mind go. So with these first few breaths now, just allow the breath to occur naturally. Bringing your awareness into that breath, into where that breath goes in your body, and try to encourage the belly to push out with the diaphragm pushing down. Softening any tightness around your hips, your core. Feeling the movement of your breath. Soften around your wrists, your forearms, your shoulders. If your forehead can touch the floor, rest here. Feel that compression in your hips. Slightly constrict your throat to generate a very even sigh on the in and the exhale. Take the next few breaths to keep your mind focused on the feelings within your body and the ground beneath you. Feel that touch, that sense of grounding. Bringing your awareness entirely within this practice. Okay, and then we're going to come slowly up into a tabletop position. Bring the knees together a little bit, stretch out the hands a little bit further. We're going to come into thread the needles. With the left hand, glide it under the right shoulder and twist your shoulders to the right. Take that left shoulder down onto the mat and then rest the side of the head down. Find this twist here. Take a few breaths here. And then slowly drawing that left arm back, turn the hand to the mat. And we take the twist on the other side as you stretch the right hand through and under the right armpit, get the shoulder on the ground, then rest the side of the head down on the mat. So there's no pressure on the neck here. And it's a very gentle twist, but you can go a bit deeper by pressing that left hand into the mat. Just taking that left shoulder back a little bit. Okay, and then drawing that right hand out. So bring the hands under the shoulders and go into some cat-cow movements here. So we work with the breath in cat-cow. As we breathe in, drop the tummy down towards the floor, lift the head up, point the bottom up slightly. Breathing out, round through the shoulders, round the back, tuck the tailbone under, put the tummy button into the spine. And working with the breath, synchronizing breath to movement. Try to feel the whole spine moving. Still engaging that nice gentle sigh in the throat with the in and the exhale. Feeling your way through the posture, through the movement. Going a little bit deeper each time. Okay, and then come to a neutral table. Move your shoulders forwards and backwards as the hips go from side to side. Get a little bit of lateral movement in the spine. Okay, and then come to a steady position. Straighten out that right leg, tuck the toes in, push back in the heel. And then what we're going to do is rotate that right heel down so we've got good presence on the mat with the foot. Turn your shoulders to the right, take the right hand up for a twist through the shoulders, then take that palm forwards and stretch forwards with that straight arm. So you find that stretch come all the way through the side of the rib cage. Maybe turn and look up at that hand, hold and breathe here. Trying to release where you can. Some muscles are going to be stretching tense, but where you can release any muscle contraction, allow that release with the breath. And then drop that hand down. We go again on the other side. So come back to tabletop, straighten out that left leg, tuck the left toes in, rotate that left heel down, get good presence on the mat. Push into the mat with the right hand, turn the shoulders to the left, take the left hand up. Find some stability here. Turn and look up at that left hand. Take that palm forwards, take that arm forwards as well. Find that stretch on this side. Taking a few breaths here. With a breath in, going a little bit further as you reach the fingertips far away from that grounded outside edge of the left foot. Find that stretch through the side of the body. Come all the way down to the mat. Rock the hips from side to side. Walk the hands forwards, keeping the hips on top of the knees. Stretch out through the whole of the upper body now as you slowly lower the armpits down. Soften the neck. Find this really nice cat stretch here. Find that extension through the whole of the spine here. Shoulders stretching as well. And walk the hands backwards, just in front of the shoulders. Going to tuck the toes in, bring the knees hip width apart. Lift the knees away from that several inches and hover here. Push back into the heels. So really active in the toe knuckles. Open in the fingers or open in the fingers. And then slowly start to straighten the legs out as you lift the sit bones up and backwards. And when you find your legs straightening out, maybe bend one knee and pedal through the legs here to stretch out any tightness through the backs of the legs. Okay, we're going to take the weight off the arms in a moment. So then start to walk, very small baby steps, walk the feet forwards towards the hands, keeping the knees bent, come to a Bentley forward bend at the top of your mat. And then allow the arms to dangle down the side of the body. Lean forwards a little bit, tuck your chin in, keeping the arms dangling, slowly roll up to an upright position. And as you come upright, lift the chin up, take the shoulder blades back down the back. Inhale the hands up. Okay. And then drop the hands down. Okay, straight to some sun salutations now. So inhale the hands up, bend in the knees, slowly fold forward to a Bentley forward bend, hands onto your shins. Lift your chest on an inhale as you lengthen through the spine here. Lift the sit bones up to straighten the legs. And on the exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands down on the floor. Inhale as you walk, step back to a plank position, bringing your shoulders on top of your wrists. And on the exhale, drop onto your knees, chest, chin down to the floor. Tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale, lift the chest up, keeping the elbows tucked in, gentle pressure into the mat with the hands. Lift up through the crown of the head, pull the shoulder blades back down the back to Cobra. And then exhale, release to the floor. Inhale into tabletop. Tuck the toes in, sit the hips back on the heels as you exhale, lift the knees away. And then send the heels down as the legs straighten into downward dog. Looking back at the ankles, pressing into the base of the thumb, taking the elbow creases forwards. With an inhale, lift the left leg up, bending the knee when you get as high as you can. Take the knee out to the left. Okay, so you're in a scorpion pose, lifting that left knee up, opening the left hip, looking back at the right ankle, not compromising your foundation by pushing that right heel into the floor. Hip already starting to open now. And bring that knee in line, drop that left foot down to the mat. With the next inhale, inhale the right leg up into three-legged dog, bending the knee at the top. Take that knee out to the side, opening the hip here. Looking back at your left heel, your left ankle, push the left heel into the floor while you continue to lift that right knee up, opening the hip. And then bring that right knee in line. Bend both knees and small baby steps walking to the top of the mat. Tuck the chin in. This time take the hands behind the back, keeping the knees bent. Lower the chest down onto the knees, straighten the arms, Venus lock the arms, interlace the fingers and stretch forwards with those arms. Try to soften through the shoulders, see if you can come further forwards. Lowering that chest as low as you can towards the thighs, maybe bending the knees a little bit further, finding that stretch through the body. Drop the hands down the side of the body, tuck the chin in, roll slowly up, standing. Rolling the shoulders back, inhaling the hands up. Hands come together, palms together above you. And then this time with the legs straight, providing it's okay for your lower back, slowly take the body, the head, the chest down towards the mat to a straight leg forward bend. Hands come behind the legs if you wish. Drop the head and shoulders further towards the floor, but keeping the legs as straight as you can here. Pushing the knees backwards, lifting the sit bones up. Finding some tension. Taking a few slow breaths here. Bending the knees, press into the mat with the left foot, step the right leg to the back of the mat onto the ball of the foot into a lunge, and then bring the chest forwards and look forwards as you stretch out through that, that right leg. A couple of breaths here. And push into the mat with the hands as you glide that left leg back into plank, trying to keep the body quite still when you do that. Shoulders on top of wrists, holding plank here, pushing back into the heels. And drop onto your knees, chest, chin, tops of the feet on the mat. Hands either side of the ribcage. Inhale, lift the chest up, gently press into the mat with hands, keeping the elbows tucked in, lift up through the crown of the head. Maybe the pelvis comes off of the mat into a high cobra. And exhale down. Inhale up into tabletop. This time I'm going to step the right foot forward between the hands, tuck the left toes in, lift the left leg up. In this lunge position here, lifting the chest forwards, looking forward, finding this stretch in this lunge here. And step to the top of the mat, tuck the chin in, roll up. Okay, rolling the shoulders back. So we're going to do this a little bit more quicker this time with a couple of breaths. So inhale, lift up. Soften the knees, exhale, float down, hands onto the shins. Inhale up into half forward bend, straighten the legs, lift the back, look forwards. Exhale into a straight leg forward bend, keeping the sit bones coming up. Bending the knees. Hands onto the floor. Inhale back into plank, bringing the shoulders on top of the wrists at the end of the inhale. Exhale all the way to the ground. Tops of the feet on the mat. Inhale your chest away from the mat, lifting up through the crown of the head, keeping the elbows tucked in, shoulders come back. Exhale to the floor. Inhale into all fours, tucking the toes in, hips go back. Exhale into downward dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend to the knees, look up between the hands. Step, walk, skip, or jump to the top of the mat to a Bentley forward bend. Tuck the chin in, slowly roll up. As you inhale, lift the arms up above the head, look up. As you exhale, straight legs, take the arms all the way out to the sides and down towards the floor on straight legs. Hands onto the shins, inhale, lift the chest, half forward bend. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands down on the floor. Inhale, step back to plank, bringing the shoulders on top of the wrists. Exhale, all the way to the floor. Inhale up into high cobra, lifting the pelvis off the mat, lifting up through the crown of the head, shoulder blades back. Exhale down. Inhale into tabletop. Tuck the toes in. Exhale into downward dog. Inhale the left leg nice and high into three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, nose to knee. Inhale, lift that left leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Exhale that left foot down. Inhale the right leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, nose to knee. Inhale, lift up, go for some height here. Exhale down, bend in the knees. Little jump, if you like, to the top of the mat or walk to the top of the mat. Tucking the chin in, rolling up, standing, rolling the shoulders back. Inhale the hands out nice and high and wide and up. Exhale down. As you exhale down, bend the knees, drop the hips down. Inhale the hands forwards and up into chair pose. Exhale, bend the knees even more as you sit into this chair. And breathe here. And release, take the hands down to the floor on bent knees, hands on shins. Inhale, lift the chest into a half forward bend. Exhale, bend the knees, hands come down. Inhale back to plank, shoulders on top of wrists. Exhale to the ground. Take the hands down the side of the body and inhale into locust as you lift the chest, lift the legs off the mat and hold and breathe. One more breath. And release to the floor. Hands either side of the rib cage. Push up into tabletop, sit the hips back, tuck the toes in, lift up into downward dog. A couple of breaths here. Bend the knees, look up between the hands, walk or little jump to the top of the mat. With the chin tucked in, roll up to standing, inhaling the hands up nice and high. Bring your hands down onto your chest. Press into the mat with the left foot. Bend the right knee, step the right leg back into a lunge here onto the ball of the right foot. Rotate your right heel down, find warrior two here, left arm in front, right hand behind. Take a couple of breaths to establish this posture, okay? So left knee pointing to left pinky toe, rounded through the outer edge of that right foot. Soften your shoulders, palms down, looking over the middle finger of the left hand. And breathe in. As you breathe in, lengthen through the arms. As you breathe out, bend that left knee, drop the hips down. Try to keep the axial body straight, nice and vertical if you like. That's the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. Keep your focus ahead. Then start to straighten out that left leg. Not lock out, but straighten out. You've got a little bit of flexion in the knee. Palms facing forwards. Keep the whole body flat in one line. And then lean forwards, bend at the waist, take that left hand down towards the leg, can rest on the leg, maybe come to the floor, wherever it is in your body, right hand over the top. Now think about alignment. Pull that right shoulder, right hip backwards. So your shoulders are on the hip, on the ankles. You're flat all the way through the body. Turn and look up at that right hand. If you want, you can take that palm forwards and bring that right arm forwards for a deeper stretch here. When you're ready, slowly come out of that. Put your tummy button in, straighten up, pivot on your feet, 180 degrees for warrior two. On this side, middle finger of right hand. Rounded through the outer edge of that left foot. Right knee pointing to right pinky, little toe. Breathing, lengthen through the arms, breathing out, bending that right knee, dropping in. Keeping your breath steady. Where you feel discomfort, where you feel fatigue, where you feel tiredness, bring your mind onto your breath and work the posture. Soften where you can. Start to straighten out that right leg, not hyperextended, palms facing forwards, leaning forwards, bend at the waist, sending that right hand down onto the shin, and left hand up, arms in alignment, as is the body. So shoulders on hips, on ankles. Turn and look up at that left hand and find the stability here. Keeping your mind on the posture, keeping your mind on the breath. And pull your tummy button in, slowly coming all the way up. Putting your feet out 45 degrees. Lift the hands up, palms together. Slowly come down into a wide leg squat here. Soften the shoulders. Pulsing now into the hips. And inhale up into 5 point. Exhale, turning that right foot in line and dropping into warrior two. As you float the arms down, look straight ahead. Inhale, stretch out through the arms. Exhale, windmill all the way down. Turn both feet in line, hands either side of that left foot. Inhale back into downward dog. Taking a few breaths here. Inhale through to plank. Hold plank now. So leveling out the body, pushing back into the heels, active through the triceps, the bicep, pushing the ground away, looking straight down in front of you to the floor and keeping your core engaged. Feeling the sensations across your body. Where is that predominant feeling and how is the breath? If your mind wanders, bring it back into the game. Okay, well done. Drop onto your knees, chest, chin. Toss the feet on the mat. Inhale up into Cobra, lifting up through the crown of the head. Exhale down. Inhale to tabletop. Tuck the toes in. Exhale into downward dog. Bending the knees, looking up between the hands. Step to the top of the mat. Tuck the chin in. Roll up to standing. The top of the mat. Inhale the hands out, nice and wide. Push into the ground with the right foot. Step the left sole of the left foot onto the calf, or if it's in your practice, into the thigh. Find tree posture here. And find your focus, your drishti. Look down at the ground in front of you and keep the breath nice and steady. Bring the arms across each other. Left arm to right. Find eagle arms here if you can. Lift the elbows up. And release. And come back down. Okay, loosen off the right ankle. And roll the shoulders back. Ground down through that left foot. Find some stability in tree, and it can be into the thigh or into the calf, whatever works for you. And take a moment here just to find some balance. If you can, right under left to find eagle arms. Release. And come back down. Well done. At the top of your mat. Inhale the hands up, straight legs, swan dive down to a straight leg forward bend. Bend in the knees, hands down to the floor. Inhale back to plank. Exhale to the ground. Inhale up into Cobra. Exhale to the ground. Inhale to tabletop, tuck the toes in. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale the left leg nice and high. Exhale left knee to left elbow. Inhale left leg high. Left knee to right elbow. Inhale lift up. Exhale down. Inhale the right leg high. Right knee to right elbow. With the breath. Inhale lift up. Cross the body to the left elbow. Inhale, lift up and down. Look up between the hands, bend the knees, maybe a little jump to the top of the mat. Tuck the chin in, roll nice and slowly up to an upright position. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Push into the mat with the left foot. Step the right foot back and find warrior two here, where we were before. Rounding through that right foot, left knee pointing to left pinky. Upright through the middle body, looking over the middle finger of your left hand, and breathe here. Turning the left palm to face up. Inhale, all in one line into reversed warrior, bringing that left hand up above you as you look up. And exhale, windmill down, both hands to the top of the mat. Turn both feet in line. Step up to standing split. Right leg comes up hip height. Finding your stability with your hands and your grounded foot. Pushing into the mat with the left hand, left fingertips. Take the right hand away from the floor and take the right hand up above you. Point the fingers to the ceiling. Turn and look up at that right hand if you can into half moon. Flex the right ankle and push the heel away. Bring that right hand down, turn and look down, standing split. Float that right foot all the way down. Windmill all the way around to warrior two. Inhale up to 5 points. Exhale, gliding squat. Inhale to 5 points. Warrior two to the other side. So turn on your feet, right foot in line with the mat, bend the right knee, round through the outer edge of the left foot. Drop the arms down and find this posture here. Inhale here on an exhale. Windmill down, turn both feet in line, find standing split. Okay, grounding down through that right leg. Positioning your right hand, and then when you're ready, turning the shoulders to the left, take the left hand up for half moon here. Flexing that raised foot, push the heel away. Turn and look up at that left hand if you've got it in your practice. Hold and breathe. Turn and look down at the floor. Bring the left hand down. Slowly bending that right knee. Float the left foot down. Step back into downward dog. Inhale through to plank. Exhale to the ground. Inhale up into Cobra. Exhale to the ground. Inhale to table, tuck the toes in. Exhale to dog. Take a few breaths here. And then look up between the hands one more time. Step to the top of the mat to a Bentley forward bend. Tuck the chin in. Roll all the way up standing. Inhale the hands up nice and high. Hold the arms out nice and wide as you float that left knee off of the mat. Rest the ankle on top of the thigh. Bring the hands down to heart center to find standing pigeon here. As you drop into this posture, steady the breath. Slowly come out of this as you stand on that right leg. Lift the hands up nice and high. Float the hands and the left foot down. Inhale the hands up nice and wide. Ground through that left foot. Float the right foot off the mat. Right ankle on top of the left thigh. As you exhale, come down into standing pigeon here. Coming into this one leg squat. Soft through the shoulders. Hands together on heart center. Hold and breathe. Inhale, come out of that, lift the hands up, and then Bentley forward bend, come all the way down to the floor. Okay, bending the knees, come onto your toes, sit the hips back onto the heels, bring the knees together, find some balance here on your toes, hands come to heart center. And then slowly, if you can, roll onto your bottoms into boat. Find some balance just behind the sit bones. Lean back, reach the hands forwards. Just to the point where the core is now engaged. Hold and breathe. Open your toes. Find some gaps in your toes if you can. Cross your ankles, bend your knees, come into easy postures. You lift up through the spine here. Roll behind your sit bones. Take your hands out in front of you. Come back into boat. Find some balance. Crossing your ankles. Bring your hands together as you come into easy pose here, lifting up through the spine. Take a twist here now. Turn your shoulders to the left. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind to lift up through the spine as you inhale. As you exhale, pull the tummy button in and twist all the way around to the left. Using the bind where you can, going a little bit deeper after a few breaths, keeping that core engaged. Release, uncross your legs and cross them the other way. And then when you're ready, rotate to the right, take the left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind to lift up through the spine, pull the tummy button in. As you exhale, twist your shoulders to the right, pull the tummy button in, go deep in this twist here. And release. Okay, from here, straighten out the right leg, left sole into the thigh, turn your body over that straight leg, come forwards on the front of the sit bone here. So the pelvis rotates forwards, hands come out long and drop the hands down. Keep the chest and the chin high. Soft through this left bent leg and take the chest forwards as you find tension in your right hamstring. And use the bind to pull forwards, not down, forwards. So find some tension here, flex the ankle, pull the toes back, and use your breath now to find release in this stress, this tension. Okay, drawing back from that. Okay, we go to the other side. Straighten out the left leg, bend the right knee, sole of the foot comes into the thigh. Turn your body over towards that left leg, ankle flex, toes pointing up. Think about the sit bone going backwards as the pelvis rotates forwards on top of that femur. Take the hands forwards, rest them down there. Now keep the chest coming forwards. Lower back is quite flat. The tension in the hamstring, hopefully, not the lower back. If it's the lower back, back off. Find tension in your hamstrings, soften through the bent right knee. 5 breaths. Prolong in that exhale and explore in that feeling of tension in your hamstring. It doesn't matter where you are in this posture. It doesn't matter if you can't straighten your leg out. You only go to the tension in your body, and that's what you work with. This is all about the breath. Using the breath to remove the stress and the discomfort. And release. Okay, bend both knees into a very soft crossed leg position here. Okay, you're going to lift up the right leg, straighten the right leg out, and gradually pull that straight leg towards you, even that bent leg towards you into heron, to find some tension here. Keep hold of here, a couple of breaths. And bend that knee. Okay, so cradle the baby, a little bit of caution here. So keep this ankle flexed at all times, okay? This stops the tibia from rotating and protects your cruciate ligament. If you are able to, only if you are able to get the elbow crease around the outside edge of that foot, the outer arch, and then you can cradle the baby like this. If you can't do it, and you will know you can't do it because you'll be going, hold the leg and rock the leg from side to side, okay? Much better to do what is comfortable, is not going to put us at risk in any way. It is really all about moving that femur in that acetabulum hip socket. That's all this is doing, this cradle baby posture. It's moving the femur. We're moving that big ball and socket joint, moving the synovial fluid, stretching the ligaments within their comfortable range of stretch and getting that hip socket all warmed up, even those external rotators and those glutes. And we let that foot go. Straighten out the left leg, flex the ankles, pull that left leg in to heron to find that tension in your hamstrings, okay? And hold here. Soften where you can. And then bend that knee, ankle flex, really important. Rotate that hip already in its socket. And then when you've got support this leg, cradle a baby. Only if you've got that range of movement. Same thing, cradle a baby, but rock that hip, that left hip. Within your range of movement. Okay, going to get into the next posture now. So that grounded leg, that right leg that's in front of you, try to keep that lower leg, the femur, the fibula, nice and straight. Rest that bent ankle, the top leg on top. So it's fire log. It might not look like that for you. It might be like that. If it's like that, that's okay. Gently press down to find that tension in your hip and hold there. If it's like that, again, stack the legs, fire log. Maybe walk the hands forwards to find your tension. If you've got really, reasonable mobility in your hips, find your tension here. Maybe twist to the left, maybe twist to the right. But every single person that does this will be in a different position, okay? But find some tension so you can work with it. And what I mean by working with it is release the muscles that are contracting, soften the tissues that are complaining, breathe nice and slowly, and take it to the next level of discomfort. Not screaming pain, because that's not what we do in yoga. We use the breath to soften the discomfort, just around about the edge, the nice edge of our range of movement. This fire log posture is very, very good for tight hips, which we've all got because we all walk a lot. We might run, we might cycle, but even through walking, our hips become tight. It's the way we're designed. So when the hips become tight, they constrain the pelvis, the lower back. So we have to loosen that tightness off. Okay, fire log on one side, then return that top leg to the floor and start again. Okay, so keeping that lower leg quite flat. And again, you might find your hip sockets are in different locations on either side. They might be at slight odd angles. You might find it tighter on one side of fire log to the other. So be very, very aware of the constraints in your body and only work the posture to a point that is mildly uncomfortable, and you can work with your breath. I'm actually on the ground, on the floor, so I'm going to come back on the mat because it's a bit softer. And then gently apply pressure into that point of tension. Again, if you've got good mobility, you can always twist to one side to stretch those rotators, those glutes in different directions. Okay, so the hips really starting to warm up now. So take this posture away now, come into butterfly. So join the soles of the feet together and let the knees float up and down. Not necessarily with the breath, just giving that little bit of release in the hips. Okay, next posture is cow pose Gonokasana. Again, to get into this, if you really tighten your hips, straighten out the right leg, step the left leg over. What we'll try to do is get the knees on top, or stack the knees. So you can see my knees are sort of almost coming on top. I've got a little bit of tension here. That's good enough for me. Okay, only go as far as you've got the tension, which you can deal with. And only if you are able to. And most of the superior race, that is the female of the species, can do this relatively comfortably, simply because of the width of the Q angle and the way their pelvises are, particularly if they've had children. Most blokes can't do this. Will find it incredibly difficult because of tight hips and possibly compression in the hamstrings and the quads, where there's maybe a lot more dense muscle, dense tissue. So it's not about getting to a point of what it looks like, really. It's going to that point of tension. So even if your leg's straight and you've got tension in your hips, that's as far as you need to go. If your legs are bent and you've got tension, that's what you need to do. From here, bring the hands together. I'm going to twist to, with the left leg on top, we're going to twist to the left. Hook that elbow just on top of that knee and turn here. To find a little bit more of a twist in here. Okay, and hold and breathe. And turn to the other side for a twist here. It's not as effective here. So what we'll do is we will go on the other side when we change the legs over. Okay, coming out of that. So unwrap your legs. And to start off with, straight leg on the left leg, step the right knee over, look for some tension here. If you've got tension here, that's fine. You can come into this posture. If you're okay and you have a little bit more range of movement here, okay, find Gonokasana. Try to get the knees stacked as on top of you can, subject to compression, subject to any tension in your hips. Hands to your heart center, turn to the right, maybe hook that elbow onto that knee and turn to the right for a twist here. All of the time, releasing any tension anywhere in those hips. Try to make this comfortable with your breath. So try to release contracting muscles. Try to find layers of tension a little bit deeper. And release. Uncouple your legs. Okay, come down onto your lower backs. Show the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Reach up, grab hold of your ankles or your inner arches. Pull your knees down either side of your torso. Soften the hips. And gently rock from side to side here in Happy Baby. Or forwards, backwards. Play around with your legs, thus lengthening and bending your knees to come to a nice gentle massage of your discs, your lower back, your upper back. Okay. And then bring the knees into the chest, head towards the knees, big squeeze here. Then drop your head and shoulders onto the floor. Take the arms out nice and wide, backs the hands on the mat. Lift the knees up into the chest, inhale here. On an exhale, I'm going to rotate the hips to the right. So if you can get the knees down towards the right elbow, as the whole body starts to rotate around, clamp your knees with your right hand and then turn and look to your left hand as you soften through the left shoulder and look across to the left for this twist. Keeping your belly pulled in and breathing nice and slowly. And then turn and look up at the ceiling. Release that right hand, bring the knees back to center. Pull them up into the chest again. And then rotate the hips to the left. Take the knees down to the left elbow. And as they land and the body rises up, clamp the knees down, turn and look to your right as you soften through the right shoulder and find this twist. And breathe nice and slowly here. Turn and look up at the ceiling. Release the knees, drop the feet down. Join the soles of your feet together. Let the knees release to the side. Soft through your hips now. Soft through your pelvic base and soft through your pelvic floor. Soft through the groin. Rest your hands on your belly. Feel the breath or breathe into your tummy. Soften your tummy. And as you soften the tummy, just follow the breath into that space. And then straighten out your legs. Take your feet to the bottom corners of the mat. Rest the heels down. Let the feet flop to the side. Release your hips. You can stay with your hands on your belly, or you can take your hands away, back to the hands on the mat. Release the fingers. And then come into some relaxation here. Close your eyes if you wish, or stare up at the ceiling or something in your eyesight. And allow the body to let go here. Feeling the sensations across your body. Where is the predominant sensation? Wherever that is, take your mind there and analyze that feeling. Connect with that sensation. Linger here. Be inquisitive. And when that sensation starts to ease off, go to the next sensation in your body. Keeping your mind focused on these points of interest. And if there are no obvious sensations, feel the ground beneath you. Where is the body heaviest? Feel that pressure. See if you can release soft tissue. Does it make it heavier? Then move on to the next sensation. It could be the temperature of the skin somewhere on the body. It could be a gentle draft across your body. Keeping the mind focused. When your mind starts to drift off, find something to pull it back in. And when you run out of sensations, come back to your breath. You can stay here as long as you want in Shavasana, with your mind following your breath. I am going to slope off and leave you to it. So thanks for trying this class, even parts of it. I hope you found some of it interesting. See you next time around, or maybe see you at a public class. In the meantime, enjoy your yoga, stay safe. Bye-bye.